What's up, brand builder? Stephen Hurahan here at BrandMasterAcademy.com, and in this video you're going to learn what brand essence is and how to create it. So you can find the spirit of your brand and use that to better connect with your audience and to make better strategic decisions. Now, if you're new to the channel and you want to build brands that go beyond the visuals using strategy, psychology, and creative thinking, then you're in the right place. Hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. If you want to fast track your results, make sure you grab the Pro Brand Strategy Blueprint. It's a free download and the link is in the description. Now, every company in the world has some kind of solution. That is what they sell, that is what they promote. But advertising with features and benefits and trying to connect through features and benefits is no longer enough anymore. We're very connected with the brands that we do business with today. We're very selective. We're much more selective than we used to be with the brands that we do business with. So brands today need to connect on an emotional level. So what is brand essence? Well, any brand is made up of a bunch of intangible elements. So the position in the mind of the audience is intangible. The personality of the brand is intangible, and the brand essence goes one deeper because it goes into the spirituality of the brand and the intrinsic nature of the brand. Now, if you ask any person to describe another person, they'll probably describe their visual appearance or their behaviors or even their values. But if you ask them to describe the soul or the DNA of the person, it's a lot more difficult to do that. But it is the soul and the DNA of the person that drives the behaviors and the appearance and the values of that person. And it's the exact same in branding. It's not easy to define the brand essence, but it is the brand essence that drives the behaviors, the appearance, and the values of that brand. Now, as Jeff Bezos once said, a brand is what people say about you when you're not in the room. So your brand is your reputation or a perception that lives in the mind of the audience. Now, if a person finds it difficult to describe the soul and the DNA of a person, that's all right, but they do take that into account if they're describing the visual appearance or the values of a person. They take into account their soul and the type of person that they are, the DNA of that person. And it is the same with a brand. You might describe a brand's appearance or a brand's behavior or its values, but if you know that brand, if you've experienced that brand, you take into account its soul and its DNA as well. So what is the definition of brand essence? Well, the definition of essence is the intrinsic nature of something which determines its character. Now, if you translate that into brand essence, it's the intrinsic nature of a brand that determines its character. Now, the intrinsic nature of somebody then leads into traits that they display. So if you think about the intrinsic nature, that would be loyalty. Anybody with loyalty would also have similar traits that they display, similar traits within their behaviors, such as reliability, dependability, trustworthiness. Now, any strategic brand is all about alignment. So these similar traits that stem from the intrinsic nature may become the values of the brand, but it is important that the brand essence, as in the intrinsic nature of the brand, is defined in isolation. So as you sit down to develop a brand from scratch, there will be many elements that will need to be developed, and it's important that they are done in chronological order. There's no point in going and defining your positioning strategy before you've determined what your purpose is or what your mission is. And there's no point in determining what your purpose or what your mission is until you've determined what your brand essence is. Now, brand essence is very intangible. It is quite hazy and quite vague, and it can be difficult to discuss brand essence with some clients if they're not that way inclined. We're all different as people, and some people are far more spiritual than other people. But it's also fair that if a person has a deep connection with their spirituality and they understand why it is that they're here, they understand their intrinsic nature, then they have a lot more clarity about what it is they want to do, what it is they want to achieve, and what goals they want to meet. So it is really important to understand the spirit of your brand so that you can get that clarity and that alignment throughout every other element within your brand. Now, once you have defined that essence, the best way to communicate that essence is through emotions. And if you want to understand how to connect with your audience through emotional branding, then this video will give you 7 tips on how to do exactly that. Until next time, brand like a master, and I'll see you in the next video.